All right.
All right. Well, hey guys, welcome back to our Business Owner Spotlights. I'm Stephanie Scheller, your host. This is our opportunity for you guys, the business owners, to not just get the chance to talk about your story, but also to share and help other business owners. Because let's be honest, we're all in this together, aren't we? We all have so much to go through and so much to struggle through. Sometimes it's great to just connect with someone who is inspiring and motivating. And so those are the business owners we're bringing on here today. And today we have an amazing guest. Now, this is cool because Albert's joining us, but Albert and I have never, ever met. So Albert, thank you for joining us on the Business Owner Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I'm super curious. We were talking a little bit before we got started, but one, how did you get into what you're doing now? And before even that, what is it exactly that you do and how is it different from everybody else in your field?
Well, my brother and I started Braustin Mobile Homes at the start of this year, January of 2017. And basically, we're a virtual mobile home dealership. So we work with most of our folks online, over the phone, use virtual reality tours, and really help folks shop for a house from the comfort of their couch.
Nice. And I don't know how many people can actually pull that one off anymore, finding a place to live while sitting on your butt, which would be amazing because when we toured houses, we spent like a day just touring house after house. It was so exhausting.
It's exhausting, right?
Really is. So what made you guys say, ooh, we should do a virtual home dealership?
Well, combined, my brother and I have been in the factory-built housing industry for about a decade. And, you see companies like CarMax or Carvana taking this, Amazon approach to big-ticket items. And our industry really hadn't changed much in the last, 20 years or so. And we just thought, why not do what they're doing and apply it to affordable housing?
So how did you put all of the kind of business structure together? Because did you seriously say 2017? Like you guys just got started this year?
Yeah, January of this year.
Wow, I thought I wrote that down wrong. I was like, wait, did he? So how did you guys get all, because that couldn't have been easy to get all of the framework in place for the houses and all of this stuff. How did you do that, pull that off?
Yeah, it's been an adventure. We started at Geekdom downtown, community office space in the tech district, right by the Riverwalk, and really just pulling from all the minds that they had there. Sales and marketing was really our bread and butter, but there's a lot of folks there that know technology, developing, coding. We work with some cool guys that do drones and just pulling our resources and figuring out how we could trade our skills for theirs, basically.
Nice. So what is it that made you guys decide that you wanted to own the business? You wanted to do this for yourselves instead of bringing in an investor or going to a current mobile home company and saying, hey, let me run your online division?
That's definitely something we explored. We wanted to do it our way is what it came down to. And, we had run this idea by folks in the industry in the past, and they just thought we were kind of nuts. Kind of that it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And,
all right.
We started very lean, so we didn't have to take on investors. But I think we're happier as an end result now that we're starting to see profitability and still have complete control over the direction we take as a business.
Nice. So in your 8 months and 10 days of business, what has been probably the biggest obstacle that you guys have run into? And first of all, wait, sorry, my brain has delayed reactions. Did you say you guys are already profitable?
Yeah, we're ramen profitable, as they would call it. But really, we started January 20th was the launch of our website. So just the sales team and what they've been able to do. We've helped 21 families now become homeowners, and just really proud of what the team's put together so far, and really anxious to see this time next year what it's looking like.
Where do you guys see it going by this time next year?
Well, we just broke ground yesterday on an actual dealership off 281 South. Right now our pop-up's in the front of a mobile home community. So we're sharing this with about 20 residents. So I guess it's our version of starting in the garage. But really excited to get a physical dealership where we have more models for folks to see in person. Looking at growing the sales team by at least 2 more folks. And, by the end of 2018, we'd like to have helped 100 people get into homes next year.
Well, it sounds like you guys are pretty well on your way.
We're getting there, yeah.
So by end of 2018. And do you guys ship all over the country and stuff? Just curious.
Texas.
All over Texas.
So our country,
Well, the best part of the country. Not
That's
to say
right.
the other parts are bad, just,
Yeah.
Texans here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then I forgot the other question I was going to ask. Okay, so started January 20th. Oh, so what is the biggest obstacle? Like, what was the biggest lesson you guys learned or obstacle you overcame that made you, at this point, I'm sure you already feel like you have something, or you guys have already learned something. 8 months is a long time.
Yeah, we've learned an insane amount, and every day is something new, a new challenge, new obstacle, and with that comes a new lesson. I would say our biggest challenge out the gate was to become relevant in a space where, there's Fortune 500 giants we're competing with. Warren Buffett owns Clayton Homes, or Berkshire Hathaway owns Clayton Homes. So starting with a bootstrap budget going up against Berkshire Hathaway, that was probably our biggest challenge out the gate.
What did you do? Like, if you're okay sharing.
Yeah. There's nothing unique about what we sell. The product's the same product that 10, 15 other people sell up the road. So what we really focused on was the customer experience, the user experience, and, to make it just 1% better was really the goal. And I think we've managed to exceed that, allowing folks to shop and do their research without having to talk to a salesperson. I've been in sales all my life. I don't like talking to salespeople.
Right.
And when you're buying a home, that's not the time to get sold. So
right.
we really focused on an education-based approach to the process, helping people make the right decision. And sometimes it was with us, sometimes it wasn't. But by focusing on that, it wasn't so much on what we sold, and it allowed us to be different in a space and really separate ourselves based on the experience.
But I also think that's how the entire sales industry is shifting. That's as a sales trainer, that's a lot of what I teach is, guys, hey, no one wants to be sold anymore. Those slick, I love listening to Zig Ziglar, do not get me wrong, but a lot of his stuff worked in the 70s and the 80s and even in the 90s, and it doesn't work anymore because we figured out, hey, this is a sales technique and I don't want to be sold. Right. I want to be educated. I want to be taught. And so everyone is moving towards this, hey, educate me type of space instead of sell me type of space.
Right.
So is that how you always did all your sales, your background in sales?
I started sales going door to door, business to business, selling hockey tickets in Arizona. I really, at that point, I didn't have a choice. Folks in the desert didn't know about hockey.
Really? I can't imagine.
I had to educate people on what hockey was in a football state, and then educate them on why it would be fun to go to a hockey game. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how we got our start with that approach.
Did your brother do the same thing?
He started selling cell phones in the mall, which is just as gruesome as going door to door.
Oh my God, you guys really started it with the absolute hardest position in sales you could possibly do. I have so much respect. Car salesmen, door to door, and the mall sale retail.
Yeah.
I think those are the hardest sales jobs, period, end of discussion. Because it's just so hard to get past that initial, like in the mall, what do? You're you walk like this, right?
Right.
Don't make eye contact, right? Same thing. Someone comes to your door. Oh, that's tough. I have a lot of respect for you for that one.
Yeah, you learn to take no's to the face all day, every day. And that's, for us, that's the biggest secret for our business is just taking as many no's as we can and finding that one person a day that we can help, and not trying to be everything to everybody. And you have to be able to deal with rejection to be able to accomplish that.
Is that how you train your sales team?
Yeah. Yeah, we're, our approach isn't so much on numbers with our sales team. They legitimately buy into the end result of what we do, which is helping a family change their lives, accomplish their goal of home ownership. And I think our customers hear that coming from our salespeople. Yes, they're going to make money at the end result, but that's not why they get out of bed every day.
How many people do you guys have on your team so far?
Right now, we've got 4.
Nice. Well, for a company that's only 8 months old, that's still pretty impressive. I could see why. When I went to Matt, all I did was I sent Matt an email and I said, hey, I'm looking for like the top business owners, the people who are, when I say, think about who you have a lot of respect for, who's impressed the heck out of you, whoever's name's popped into your head, send them back. And he sent me 2 names. Yours was one of them. So I can see why he popped you up for that one. I'm glad he did.
That's awesome. Yeah, Matt's helped us out quite a bit. So I really appreciate that.
He's a pretty incredible guy. I have a lot of respect. He's just brilliant. I love a lot of the stuff that he does.
Yeah.
So one of the things I always try and ask people is, right, you're not out there alone. There's other business owners out there. They're fighting. They're struggling. What's the best piece of advice you could give to somebody who is sitting there going, I really want to grow. I really want to build this business. I would love to have 4 salespeople in 8 months. I would love to be, all these things that you guys have accomplished, because the fact that you guys have employees is huge, or have is a team that you're helping support is huge, because there's so many people who don't even get to that point in their business.
Right.
So what's your best piece of advice for someone who is trying to get up and running?
I would say to find a way to blame yourself for everything that goes wrong. And that's one thing we share with our sales team. If you're blaming the customer, blaming the economy or whatever, you're robbing yourself of the ability to change it. And you're really becoming a victim. When you blame yourself, you empower yourself to make changes. And similar to what you were talking about on when you did your TED Talk, it's just looking in the mirror and seeing what's coming back. And on our side, we related a lot to gardening. The ground doesn't care if you forget to water your garden next week. If you do, you're going to burn your crops. So it's just, no excuses and figuring out solutions more than why things went wrong.
No excuses, figure out solutions.
Yeah. We tell our guys on the sales team, there may be 100 reasons why something won't work, but all you need to do for your customer or for us in our business is to find that one way it will work and live in that world.
Nice. What do you think has been the key to your guys' big growth then? Do you think it's that?
Partially. But I think the belief and the buy-in from the team across the board into the bigger reason beyond just being a profitable business, legitimately focusing on how we can help folks change their lives and achieve their dream. We just have fun. It's not this corporate, you didn't hit your number today or next week. It's just a fun experience and getting folks and going to their graduation parties. One of our recent customers invited us to their daughter's graduation party at their property, and just getting to see the end result of those conversations we have. It's really awesome.
That's really cool. You guys are making a pretty serious impact on people's lives, especially and I know this isn't, these interviews are not ads for any of these companies, just for our listeners out there. This is not an ad, but just going through the website, like the pricing is really incredible. You guys are doing some really cool stuff. So to give someone the opportunity to kind of make that, like the house, the home, it makes the family, or makes a huge impact on the family. So yeah. I just thought that was really, really cool. I am curious, this is totally random and just shows my lack of knowledge about your industry, but do your guys have to be realtors?
Not realtors. There is a licensing process. We had to go get our broker's license. So it's a similar structure to the real estate industry.
Okay.
Where you have to be licensed and bonded and all that. But it is separate.
It's separate. Okay. So they couldn't go hop out and sell this one day and houses the next day without having to go through a whole other licensing. Right.
But they could hop to any one of the 20 competitors we have in this city. So we have to make sure we continue to keep that fire lit inside of them.
So what do you do for that? Because I know, one, hiring is always a challenge for people, hiring the right people, but then retention is always, everyone's always asking me, well, Stephanie, what do I do to retain my guys? So what do you guys do on that front?
At the beginning, all of the folks on our team made a choice to essentially take a 50% pay cut this year versus what they were making inside this industry. And again, a big part of that was our overall goal as a company, our mission, and to make an impact on this industry the way CarMax made an impact on the used car business, and take away the sales games and gimmicks and shadiness and just help people make a good decision. And I think they bought into that. They continue to stay bought in there, and it just comes back to having something bigger about our company than just trying to make a dollar. And I think that's what has united our team. It's what has folks wanting to come from competitors to come work with us.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as long as we stay focused on that end, then we'll continue to have that retention.
I think you're right. I think you've touched on something that sometimes we forget about, that it's not always about the money. It's about having something bigger that you're doing. And I love talking to business owners who are trying to disrupt their industry, because, the companies that disrupt the industry, those are the ones who get remembered. I remember, I'll never forget, I went to an event in 2015 and this guy got on stage and he was like, if you want to be remembered, it was Brian Smith who founded the UGG Boots company.
Yeah.
And he said that if you want to be remembered, you will do something that will disrupt and change the way your industry operates. Yeah. He was like, think about Apple. Apple will never die in name, at least, because they're the ones who they completely changed the music industry. They completely changed the phone industry. They're like, they will never, because of that, their business may fail, but they will never be forgotten. Who else was he talking about? He talked about how Uggs has disrupted the college white girl industry. But his goal was actually, when he started the company, was to disrupt like the surfing, because he was a surfer, and he was like, whenever you get out of the water, your feet are always cold. So I brought these boots over. But I think giving people something that they can hold on to that's bigger than them makes such a big difference. I really, truly do.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of coming up on, as long as I like these interviews to go, because I want people to like hop in, get rejuvenated, run out, and go knock their day out. So do you have any final thoughts, inspiration, motivation, anything you want to share with the listeners?
We at the end of our morning meetings every morning, we leave off IFOA, IFOA, just intense focus on action, and owning the day. And focusing on what's going to net results, not keep you busy. And that's really all we got.
That's a really awesome end. I don't have anything to add to that, guys. This was an amazing interview. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, guys, for those of you listening, join us again. We are trying to do, if that we can make this happen, we're trying to do 100 of these over the next, we're trying to do 100 total over 90 days. We got about 70 days to finish this out, so see if it happens or not. But the idea is to give you guys inspiration and motivation. I look forward to bringing another amazing business owner back here again, either tomorrow or next week. We'll talk to you guys very soon.
Y'all take care.